Star Wars Geek Girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.
Are we good?
Everyone's wearing headphones?
Can you guys hear me?
Cool, I can hear you.
Okay.
I do not have headphones.
Oh no, you must wear them, otherwise we'll echo in the background.
No one's echoing on my end. Am I echoing on your end?
No, you sound good, actually.
Okay then.
Sorry.
Jonah,
Right.
Jonah.
Sal, I can hear you.
How you been?
I'm alright, how are you?
Pretty good. Okay, I let you get back to your crazy podcasting.
I missed that.
Alright, I can see everybody except for Becca.
Yeah, I don't have a camera that's working currently. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So everybody has
My dad said he's not really gone. He's just playing Disney Infinity.
Okay. Okay. So, is everybody ready to start?
I'm ready.
Everybody has the show
Yep.
notes? Okay, so, I'll start now, I guess. Alright. This is Star Wars Geek Girl, and, I'm here for our, Geek Girls Roundtable. I am joined by Lizzy again, Becca Chen, Jess Linn, Emily, Schram, and Jonah Marie.
Yay!
From Wookiee Gunner. So, everybody want to say something about yourself, I guess, to start? Alright.
I'm Lizzy. Oh, sorry.
It's fine. So I've been on the show before, but I dress up as Sabine. I used to be a Jawa. My dad's in the 501st, and I'm in the Galactic Academy. Yeah.
Well, I'm Jonna Marie. I am the keeper of the WookieeGunner.com. I also am the host of Rebels Chat, which is a podcast that I do with my mom. And I'm also the host of Galactic Fashion, where I interview fangirls about their fashion tastes and their favorites in the fashion world.
I'll go. I am Emily Schram. I am also part of the 501st. I do Captain Rex Phase 1, and my call number is CC9529.
Okay,
I'm
my name is
Lizzy.
Jesslyn. Oh, good.
No, go ahead.
Okay. My name is Jesslyn. I'm a member of the 501st. I just joined Rebel Legion. I have over 6 approved costumes, at least 2 that are pending right now. And I make my own dolls. I make it's called Jessica's Cosmic Critter Creations. I make Wampa dolls, Tuca dolls, Yoda dolls, makeup bags, anything you can think of. Pillows, I make it.
Okay, I'm Becca Chen. I'm a member of 501st.
All right.
And I'm also Garrison Carida's charity rep currently.
Oh, my turn. I'm Lizzy. I do Sabine and Priestess. I'm also a regular Jedi. I'm part of Saber Guild, and my parents are 501st and Rebel Legion. We're Rogue Rebels. And, yeah, that's it.
Alright, so this is our round table. So the first big question is, how is everyone preparing for The Force Awakens?
I've got plenty of tissues. I'll be crying the entire movie. The second the lights dim, I'm out.
I'm probably the only one who doesn't really have any plans. As weird as it sounds, a lot of people are shocked by the fact that I'm not as excited as they are. And I don't know. I am excited for the movie. I mean, like I saw a TV spot during Once Upon a Time last night and I freaked out. But I guess that it comes in waves, and but I'm more excited for Star Wars Rebels. So when I saw the TV commercial for it earlier today, actually on Facebook for it, I freaked out even more than what I did last night. So I guess I'll prepare for it the day before, and it'll dawn on me, wow, there's a new Star Wars movie coming out tomorrow. I should really get hyped.
I'm right there with you, Jenna Marie. I'm kind of like trying to not be as excited right now with all the, legend stuff and then rewriting characters. It's like I've had so many characters ruined for me in the last few months. I'm trying not to get overexcited and, we have a prequel trilogy mishap again.
I think that's the problem with all Star Wars fans is we don't want to get our hopes up and then have another episode 3 come out. We're like, well, congratulations, you ruined Solo and Luke. So now what do we do?
I mean, Han came out and said it's, gonna be amazing. So I'm trying to keep my hopes up, but we'll see what happens.
So like I know Lizzie's also going to premiere a day early, and I'm really excited for that. I am missing my concert for orchestra, but Star Wars, it's worth it.
Yeah, I have a drama show like right before, so we have to hurry up with that and then just run to the movie theaters right after.
Are you guys doing any 501st troops for the premiere?
Yeah. They have a couple theaters around the Pittsburgh area, about 3, maybe 4 now, lined up. A couple, they're doing actually charity events with the pre-screening.
That's not a bad idea.
I forget. I forget what the exact charity group is, but me and my husband and a couple others are gonna be at that one.
I think that's going to be the most exciting, is everyone's already dressed up, and then here we are in our 501st gear. Gonna be
oh yeah.
So, anything else anyone wants to add?
Were you guys alive when the prequels came out?
I was alive for the...
I don't know how old you are. I know I've met you.
I think I was alive for the second and third, but no, not for the first.
You hear all the adults, the ones who were around in 1977, say, "Oh, I was there when the movies came out. I saw it 5 times in theaters. I saw the prequels. My sister kidnapped me from school." But now you guys finally get that feeling of seeing something for the first time in theaters.
Yeah. I think I was 11 or 12, somewhere around there when it came out, when Phantom Menace came out. And I remember seeing Padme's red royal gown in one of the trailers. And I was just captivated from that moment. Because I had always been a Star Wars fan, but up until that point, I was never really invested in the fandom as I am now. So the prequels were really what tossed me into that whole, I guess, the fan community. And what really, really got me more involved was Star Wars: The Clone Wars and eventually Rebels. So yeah, I definitely remember the prequels, and I definitely went more than once for them.
I saw it at least 8 times. Yeah.
I remember the Clone Wars movie when it was in theaters. We saw that 4 times. I was in 2nd grade.
Yeah, I remember that.
So, our next, I don't know. So, females in fandom, we all know what that's about. But so, I mean, what are our favorite female characters that are strong and awesome.
Ahsoka, for one, if I want to, if I toss one out there, it's gonna be her. She's number one for me. And Barriss is another one. I really love Barriss's character. I'm sad that they went with a different route for her. But she was always a fave of mine in the earlier seasons of Clone Wars.
Yeah, Ahsoka is always my number one favorite because she was the first like a girl with a lightsaber. Like, yes.
Yeah.
But and then Sabine and Hera now are also awesome. But I always liked Ventress because she was like,
Oh yeah, Ventress is
she was
awesome.
our first like on-screen female antagonist.
I loved her, and then I read Dark Disciple.
Oh, don't
Have you guys
spoil
read
it. I
Dark
haven't
Disciple?
gotten to that yet. No.
No, I won't spoil anything. It just kind of, you get a completely different perspective of her than what you're used to.
Is it good?
It's hard to say.
It's actually one of my favorite novels.
Her loss for me. I mean, she's such a strong female character. She's independent. She's her own person, and then all of a sudden they like write her like she's a lovesick puppy.
Oh.
I didn't
like-
get that, but yeah, it's one of my favorite novels, and but Lost Stars is another great one. I think if you guys haven't read it, I highly recommend that one. It's a great novel. A lot of people were surprised by it, and the reason I mention that is because Ciena, who's the main character in that book, is also a female character that I think about often because she's so awesome.
She's strong and smart.
Yes,
She's
very.
really She fight for what she thinks is right, but really, I don't think so.
She has a very skewed way of thinking about things.
Yeah.
Any other female characters? Aura Singh's pretty bad.
Well, I grew up with the old ones, and all we have is Princess Leia, and
Yeah,
I
Princess
like
Leia.
the armor, so I always tended towards Vader and Fett, and it's only now that we start having these female characters that we can all relate to. So, I mean, Princess Leia is the obvious one.
Bo-Katan's another good one.
I love her.
Padme, obviously. Padme. She's great.
They definitely fleshed out her character in Clone Wars. I think made her less of a very stiff character. Gave her more of a personality.
I always like in the movies. I always saw her more as like a romantic like interest kind of, but then in the Clone Wars, and she was like a strong like diplomatic. She's she probably was the least corrupt politician we met in Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the new movie we have Rey and Captain Phasma. Which I'm wearing.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, Rey.
I'm really excited for it. Yeah.
I like that there are so many girls who are dressing up as Rey. That's pretty cool. I want to see more Phasmas out there, but it's kind of harder to build her armor. Unless you wrap aluminum around yourself.
I have so much Phasma stuff, and
You're wearing a Phasma shirt.
I
right now.
am, and then I have like an action figure right here, and then a poster right above it.
I just picked up the Hallmark ornaments today.
Oh,
Do
nice.
they talk? Do they have a Phasma one that talks?
No, she does. She's not. She doesn't talk at all. And it's weird
she talks
because
in the
most
book,
of like
at
their
least.
normal ornaments are like $12 to $14 if they don't do anything. She was like $20, and she doesn't do anything.
Oh.
Yeah, they're banking in on all of this. They're raking in the money.
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
BB-8
Oh, yeah.
ornament that I got like 2 days ago.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm excited for Rey and I'm excited for Phasma because she's a girl wearing armor, but it's not like typically feminine.
Right, they didn't stick like the ice cream scoop boobs on her. I'm really excited about it.
It's a great way of putting it.
Just say no bat nipples and everyone gets the reference.
Can we talk about that on here? How family friendly do we have to?
And then so there's the characters, and then we have the actresses and the voice actresses that represent them. So we have the obvious Carrie Fisher, who is very strong, funny. And then Ashley Eckstein, who's in a lot for girls in fandom. She started her universe, and she's just overall just kind of supportive of girls that are bullied a lot for liking Star Wars and other, typically boy things.
Who else is there? Kat Tabor, who played Padme.
Yeah, Vanessa Marshall.
Vanessa Marshall. Yeah.
Yeah, she sent us boxes of donations last year.
Oh wow.
And,
yeah, for the
signed blasters, magazines, photos. I swear she sent us so much stuff everyone could have walked away with at least 2 things.
Oh wow. That's awesome.
Actually,
she was really nice.
First girl who lost a bunch of stuff in a fire, and I written to her, and she sent in a whole care package of all this stuff, and she was like, "Is there anything else we can do?" No, actually.
Yeah, she gave us 2 extra pictures specifically for you. Remember, you, Zoe, and your sister.
Yes, we do have those. So yeah, and then female fans in general. So, I think we're some of the best people on the planet, but that's just me.
The best dressed people, at least.
Yes.
Yeah, female fans, there's a lot more than at least what I had seen growing up, because social media is such a big thing now. So you get to connect with people that aren't, because I was the only girl growing up in my family. I have 3 cousins who are boys, my brother, I have more male cousins, so I was the only one that I was really into Star Wars, after post prequel, so I didn't really have anyone to interact with. So it wasn't until Twitter and Facebook and all these other things started popping up that I got to connect with girls across, the nation, around the world. So the female fandom is definitely present. It's just great to finally connect with other people.
I was the only person liking Star Wars. There weren't even any boys that liked Star Wars. I was just alone.
So alone.
Yeah.
Poor dear. I was definitely an oddball growing up, but I had friends. My best friend, next door neighbor growing up, he loved Star Wars, and he didn't care that I was a chick. My dad fully embraced it, and so they would just sit there and listen to me talk about Star Wars, and that's fine, look at her go, she's adorable. But you're right, not until Twitter did I finally meet Aaron and you, and now we have this nice little female family, and it's delightful.
So I don't know if you guys heard about this, but there's a proposed policy at Lucasfilm that will almost completely remove Slave Leia everything from marketing except for when she's choking Jabba with the chain, and that stays. But everything else is they're not just putting Slave Leia on posters anymore.
Is this because of that one guy who went crazy about his daughters asking who she was and why she was in a bikini from a couple of
Probably.
Actually, that was, I think that might have been Colin Hanks, Tom Hanks' son. He wrote a letter to Hasbro because he took his daughter to the store, and she wanted a Leia figure, but all they had was, I think it was Old Ben and Slave Leia, and that was it. So I think he wrote a very angry letter to Hasbro saying, what the heck? Why can't my daughter find any Slave Leia toys? I mean, I can't find a Hoth Leia. I can't find, the classic dress Leia. I can't find the ceremony Leia. There's nothing out there but Slave Leia. So I don't know if they're doing this in an attempt to kind of cut back, or I think it's also partially due to, I don't know if it's like just the image of her, like showing her as a strong woman. And that's kind of like showing her not so much.
Like a sex symbol.
Yeah, exactly. A sex object
Yes.
rather than strong female. But I mean, that's a classic Leia outfit. I mean, yeah, she's
Very
running around half naked, but hey.
She killed Jabba in that outfit.
Exactly. I mean, that's like the chick in Jurassic World running around in high heels.
Well, they're not removing anything with her choking Jabba, just like random posters with all the boys, and then just put Slave Leia on there, just for no reason next to put her on there. I think that's more what this was for, but...
Yeah, I think that was one of the Lego game covers. There was a cover with all the main characters, and of course they're primarily guys, and they're all wearing their classic clothes that you've seen them with time and time again. And then there's Leia right next to them, and she's wearing the bikini. And I think his daughter, the father who owns this game, the daughter was like, "Why is she wearing a bikini? Why is she wearing a bathing suit?" or something to that extent. And he posted it up there on Twitter, and it's one of those like constantly retweeted tweets that I see every once in a while. So yeah, it's something that's used out of context a lot of the time, and it's but I like it. I like what it stands for. In the end, what it stands for, not what it originally stood for, that she became a slave. But she, spun it around and made something strong out of it. So
exactly, and I think by getting rid of any symbol of her in that outfit is doing her character injustice. She overcame all this, and now you're just gonna basically say she was just a sex object that entire time in the movie, or in the Jabba's barge.
I've also noticed that it's like one of the most like that's what they put on everything for Leia, and then but she wore that for like 15 minutes out of the whole movie. It's like her. I think that's the outfit she spent like probably the least time in.
Iconic special figure.
Well, I mean, it's either that or the donut hair, and that dress. It's all white. It doesn't have that much to it, so there's not that much fun as an artist to play around with it. That gold bikini.
I love her, the Jedi one where she was wearing that poncho like. Oh God, I can't remember anymore.
Was this from the movie?
Yeah, the movie where
Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, Return
in
of
the
the
forest?
Jedi. No. I mentioned. Didn't I mention the title? I'm sorry. I'm like totally
sorry.
coming off of work. Not really here.
Isn't that why we're here? So we can all just nerd out about Star Wars.
Yeah. So Return of the Jedi when they're on Endor. I liked what she was wearing. Yeah.
Fun braids, and I don't know which Ewok learned how to sew clothes for a human that quickly.
Yeah, clothes were those. Yeah.
It's a good fit. Yeah, I like that one too. That one, I love her, the Hoth base outfit, the all white one, but it has like the quilt and the fun little
Yeah.
thing in my head.
Hoth is my favorite too, except for maybe Endor, what you were talking about. So another topic we have is how everybody got interested in Star Wars. We talked about this a little bit, but I got into it. I was raised into it.
Yeah, you didn't have a choice.
I didn't have a choice. But no, I was like, I don't know. I was raised into it. I don't remember before Star Wars.
That's good parenting right there.
Right, exactly. That's good.
I got sucked in. It's Bobby's fault. It's all his fault. I like Star Wars as always, but it didn't become as much of an obsession until him. and the mass amounts of toys that he brought into my house. So.
I'm in the same boat, Jess.
I know, you feel my pain, Becca.
I do. I grew up watching Star Wars because of my brother. He watched Return of the Jedi I can't tell you how many times, so I got into Star Wars through him. But I didn't get into Star Wars really until I met my husband and the massive amount of toys that he collects.
Is it painful to watch it with him? He just sits there and quotes the movie as you watch it.
We actually don't watch the movie together. I don't think we haven't seen any Star Wars movie together. But my brother used to quote it all the time, and I just went la la la
it's
la
bad.
la.
Yeah, it's bad when he walks out of the room for 10 minutes quoting it, comes back, and is still in the same.
Oh, Jesus.
I found out my one friend like hasn't seen Star Wars, so I did the only sensible thing and practically taped her to the couch so make her watch Star Wars. And like I was like, I'm probably really annoying because every time some random background character comes on the screen, I'm like, oh, that's and she'd be like, shut up, Zoe.
It's important information. They need to know it.
Exactly.
Well, my dad got me into it. My dad's a big sci-fi guy, and sat on the couch one day and watched it. And I always got it confused with Spaceballs, so I was always waiting for the to take a giant comb and comb it through Tatooine. So I grew up kind of watching the old stuff on VHS, and it just snowballed from there.
So then we have, I don't know, how do you like express your interest in being a female fan? I think we already know for some of us.
Wrong costumes.
Yep.
It's so cool what you guys do. Oh man, it's so awesome.
You tell that to my husband. He's definitely a 501st widower. I'm gone almost every weekend because it's my little happy place, is dressing in 10 pounds of plastic, pretending to be a man.
Love it. I love wearing Star Wars geek clothes and all that stuff. It's one of the, now that I have a job, I can afford these things. I can finally start, purchasing dresses and sweaters and t-shirts and all this stuff that I really didn't have before. So I'm slowly amassing, this collection of clothes, and that's how I like to express it in an everyday sense. And then obviously podcasting is my way.
We were talking about expressing how we express being a female fan. So, anybody want to start that again?
Expressing female fandom.
So I wear a Star Wars shirt every single day to school, almost every single day. I think today I was wearing a Force Awakens sweatshirt actually, and my extensions teacher was like, he said, "Do you have a sweatshirt for a movie that's not even out yet?" I'm like, "Yeah, I also have like 3 t-shirts and a poster and this and that." He's like, so yeah.
Sometimes I find it hard because most of the stuff is made for guys. Like the cool stuff is made for guys. Women get R2-D2, BB-8, Phasma, which is cool. But I mean, I want variety. I want other characters, and so sometimes you have to squeeze into a young adult's extra large. So sometimes you're a little bit more female than you need to be. But your shirt looks cool.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. I've been wanting a variety of characters. Like, I want more Ahsoka things. I want other characters. I want Captain Rex things.
Let me know. I do the design work for the clone detachment over on the 501st side. So
really? That's so awesome. But
you're
yeah,
my best friend.
That's why I started doing it, because I was like, I want Captain Rex shirts. Well, if you design them.
Yeah. I'm pending approval for Jesse, and so I'm like, I love Rex. I love all the clones.
Yeah, I have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too. I kid around with my mom saying I'll marry Rex down the line eventually, and that our kids will be animated. Like, I know I am. This is me. Take it or leave it. But yeah, I love a Captain Rex inspired dress, with the J guys drawn somewhere. So that'd be cool. And but yeah, you don't really see that stuff out there, and I'd want that.
So, do you know how to sew?
Oh, to sew? No.
That's a downfall. I could draw it all day long, but I need someone who knows how to because I have a Rex design dress.
Oh man. Oh, that sounds so cool. I can only imagine. But yeah, no, I can't sew for the life of me.
Well, actually, maybe she can help us out.
I know, right?
It's fun until you get a sewing needle in your hand in the machine.
Right, somehow you're bleeding all over the place. I don't know what happened.
It's like, how the hell did my finger get under there?
Exactly. Honey, I need to go to the doctor. There's a hole in my foot.
Right?
So, I mean, I guess being a female fan in general, we already discussed the problems with not having enough cool stuff.
Although I must admit, there's more cool stuff now than there was years ago.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I want to say that's partial, in fact, to Ashley, starting her universe and kind of showing a lot of people, hey, there are a ton of female fans. Oh, start making crap.
Exactly, right. Yeah, I'm really
definitely more
impressed with what
prevalent.
she's been able to do.
And yeah, and it's tough. It's tough in person, like at work for me personally. It's tough to try to express your fandom and not freak out people who are. It's like I have little things on my desk and every time. There was actually I'm a supervisor, so I train new people, and there was a new person that came on, and he looks at my desk and he goes, "Wow, so you're a Star Wars fan, huh?" Like, yeah, can't you tell?
That's all they know how to say, because they don't know what else. How do I not startle her?
I know.
To Star Wars for the next 15 minutes.
Just get all serious. No, I hate it. Why?
It's okay.
But yeah, that's a tough part for me, trying to find a balance, because I want everything to be Star Wars in my plays, but I can't make it happen. One, because of money, and two, because it freaks people out, man.
It's really hard to fit a 3-foot tall clone trooper into your cubicle, but I would try it if I could.
I know, I was wearing a Star Wars shirt a few weeks ago, and someone's like, "Oh, do you like Star Wars?" You could say that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm
just don't get me into a conversation about it. I'll just don't stop.
Exactly. That was the best thing about Celebration, is that everybody there loves Star Wars. So you could walk in and some guy would be like, "Hey, you like Star Wars?" Like, "Do I?" And then half an hour later,
do you know where you are?
Right, exactly. Next to this giant Rancor.
I'm actually finally saving my money for that now, since they just announced the cancellation of Star Wars weekends. It's like, well, I can't do that. I'm just gonna take all that money and put it towards Celebration in 2 years.
Yeah, that was the best experience I've ever had. Going to Celebration, well worth it. Now I'm poor, but it was.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, coming off of the Rancor comment, I thought that's what you were saving money for.
Me too.
They're not just a life-size Roxy. Yeah, I don't think
Roxy.
the husband would go for that. Yeah.
Look at Jess's new pet, Roxy the Rancor.
Right? Amanda would not leave my house.
Oh. Can you have that on your front lawn? Is that legal? Permit for a Rancor?
There was a guy in my town who had a giant metal dinosaur skeleton in his front yard.
Oh,
so I think
that's in Pennsylvania?
yeah.
I had no
Well, it's
idea.
not that big, but it's. I don't know if it's the one, but it's a pretty big one, and it's in his front yard. So, I mean,
I need to come visit. We should do like an impromptu photo shoot in front of it, and not explain to the man why there are Star Wars characters running around in front of his. Someone's dog agrees with me.
Not my dog.
Sorry.
So are there any like, what would you say are like the perks of being a female in Star Wars fandom?
Perk.
The special detachments? I don't know.
All the fun five are first though. Yeah. I don't know.
I guess some of the. Oh no, you go first.
With the clones, because we're a very close family, I have the big brother sense. So I have an army of brothers willing to look after their little sister, whether it's over the internet or in person trooping. And I know if I ever have any problems, I just like, dude, and they'll be like, who is he? Got this. So you kind of get the benefit of having an extended family and being that little sister. It's nice.
One of my favorite things is like in elementary school, really, if two people would be talking about Star Wars, and I'd just be like, "Hey, I know," and they're like, "You don't know anything about Star Wars." I'm like, "Actually."
Yeah. Some of the going off of your previous answer about that dog is there's a like a big family out there, and you become part of that, and I love how big the Star Wars fandom is, and how you can still find like these little groups that you can become part of, and just build a family with that, and that's pretty cool to me. And it's great that people who don't normally, can't connect with other people within their own family can find someone else to connect with outside of that because of their mutual interest in Star Wars. So that's pretty awesome. That's a great perk for not just fangirls, but fanboys and all the other kinds of fans out there.
We just get to express it when we, and, we all just squeal with each other while the guys are like, "What's going on over there?" We can be, I guess, a little bit more expressive. Is that a word?
I think the nice thing too is being a girl fan. I think for the 501st dressing up, we are able to work more with the male costumes than the males are able to work with the female costumes. So we have a little bit more flexibility.
One of the perks for me, because I'm dressed up as a biker scout, I like surprising people.
Yeah.
Because they all think I'm a guy, and then I start talking, and they're like, "Whoa!" I'm like, "Yeah, we can be girls too."
Heads just snap around.
Yeah.
I think we've all experienced that.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
My first trip I was getting ready to go in an elevator, and this lady walks up to me. And she's like, "I love a man in uniform." Me too. Her face was priceless. Hold on.
That's amazing.
My mom walking through the hallway.
So I guess, like, I don't know, experiences being a female fan. When I was a Jawa, like, you can't tell if Jawa is a guy or a girl. And so people would always be like, "Hey, look at that nice little boy over there." And I'd just be like, sure.
Yeah, because I hold a silent finger up like, well, actually.
Because I wasn't allowed to say anything. I had to make random unintelligible noises, so I just start. They usually didn't get it, but.
I mean, I think any base character really, like I'm a Tusken. I have the Jesse Clone Trooper. People don't realize you're a girl in there. Yeah. So you do get that wow or scare factor when you talk or when you take your mask off. It's like, oh, that's a girl.
Do you talk when you're in your clone? Because as Captain Rex, I try to like minimize my voice. Like
I don't I don't talk. I just finally got a noise thing for the Tuscan, so I can finally actually start making noises with that. Because we just played it off that I was a mute Tuscan for 2 years, so it's actually I can actually make noises.
I'm a mute biker scout.
Yeah.
But I usually try talking to little girls.
Yeah.
So that they know it's cool to like Star Wars too.
Yeah, especially when they're running away because they're afraid. You can walk up to them, peek under the hood, and be like, "Hey." Shh.
I think
That's cute.
at Steel City Con one time, my sister's a Tuscan, and there was a little girl there, and a whole bunch of people got together, and they were just like, "Hey, this girl's being bullied. Can we go talk to her?" And the Tuscan walks up, and she's just kind of like scared. And then she takes her mask off, and she's like, "It's a girl."
Was it those two little sisters?
Yeah.
That's cute. One of my favorite experiences about being a fangirl actually happened recently at New York Comic Con. I stopped by the Topps booth and I got one of those posters they were giving out, and the poster was of Sabine. I'm like, yes, this is what I want to put on my wall. So I've been carrying around this poster for the majority of the day, and then it's Sunday, it's the day that kids are around, so I love seeing them in their little cute cosplays. And I got to go through the floor just one last time, and I found this little Sabine, and she looked so cute. Oh my god. And I waved to her and I said hi, and I kept walking, and then I'm like, wait, that's a little Sabine I just saw. This little Sabine should get my Sabine poster. So I walked back to her. I'm glad I didn't miss her. And I, show her the poster and I said, "Do you want this?" And she looks at it, and like it took her a second before she did this, like her face just lit up, and I was just like, "Yes, you can have it." and I asked Mom, I was like, "Can she have this?" And she's like, "Oh, that's the costume you're wearing." I'm like, "Yeah, you're Sabine." And that like totally made my con, like that one little moment, and that's my favorite fangirl moment, because it's like you want to encourage other girls, especially of that age, to like what they like and be who they are.
Exactly. Were you guys bullied as kids for liking Star Wars?
Yeah.
Not for liking Star Wars, no. For other things like appearance, weight-wise, and whatnot. But no, not for Star Wars. Not. Yeah.
I was.
Aww.
I feel it, girl.
Yeah.
I was too. I learned real fast some quick witticisms to turn people off, but yeah, if you're sassy about it, they tend to leave you alone.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That's why I love all these programs and outreaches to help girls. You don't realize that kids are still being bullied today. It's like, it's Star Wars, though. It's everywhere. How can people still be bullying little girls? So,
yeah,
I'm glad we have people like Ashley and Vanessa who are willing to step in and use their fame and fortune for good.
I was actually at the mall yesterday with my aunt and my cousins, and they're like, I don't know, like my cousin, she's my age, and she's just seeing the Star Wars movies for the first time. And so I don't know. They had a very different upbringing, but they needed some kind of like some presents for like a gift exchange or something. And so my aunt wanted to get like a princess toy and a Star Wars toy because, and I quote, one toy for a little boy and one toy for a little girl. And me and my sister looked at each other, and I don't know about my face, but Safi's face was just like, no.
I still want to play with princess. Well, what are they gonna do with it?
Yeah, and there's also people like Carrie Goldman, whose daughter had been made fun of, and I believe the 501st stepped in and made a costume for her, armor for her, and she's passed it on to another girl who was also being bullied, and she turned that into Wear Star Wars, Share Star Wars Day. which I think it's
Yay.
coming up in early December. I think it's like December 4 or somewhere around there.
Yes.
So yeah,
Yes,
I'm
December
looking
4th.
forward to that. I'm looking forward to wearing Star Wars. That's the day that I can actually wear it at work.
Yeah, I had to
And I
explain
am
to my
looking
boss,
forward.
like, breaking work code because winter.
FYI, yeah. And I'm looking forward to donating a toy and just writing it down, saying please give this to a girl because girls will enjoy it as much as boys. So, if not more.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. Have you guys noticed, are there any, like, stereotypes for girl Star Wars fans that you have
Oh, yeah.
encountered?
Yeah, one of the experiences that a good example is we were doing a West Virginia wheeling hockey night last year. And there was about 3 or 4 girls, all face characters, all officers or versions of officers. And a guy goes up to one of our stormtroopers, thinks it's a girl because of the chest armor being very shapely. And he asks, a very inappropriate question to him, thinking it's a female under there. So I think, seeing the armor, a lot of guys think that it's a female in there. I know with my husband, him wearing hard armor, a lot of people think it's a female in there because of the way that the top chest armor is constructed.
That's sad.
Yeah.
People, you just want to shake them and be like, no.
You need to be respectful of who I am as a person, too.
Yeah. I don't
That was me
people
eagerly
realize,
shaking.
yeah, behind the masks, it's not just guys. There's a bunch of girls there too, and it's not just for guys. I mean, a library last year, we walked in, and a little boy in the front row was like, didn't realize there was 3 girls up there out of 7, and he's like, girls can't like Star Wars. All of our heads just snapped around and looked at him.
Oh my gosh.
You sit right down. Let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad that somehow kids at such a young age get this idea, and it's part of the whole marketing, blue aisles for boys, pink aisles for girls. So I'm glad. I think Target's the one who's finally moving away from that, and I think they had released it in like a press release or something. So it's cool that they're moving away from it because now, parents aren't instilling that idea because now it's mixed. Now you can, if you like Lego and Transformers, go pick that up, whether you're a girl or a boy. So it's cool that they're moving away from it, and hopefully it'll catch on that it does not matter what you like, just like it. Whatever.
I've never understood that because what do they think? Like, is Carrie Fisher not allowed to like Star Wars? Like, she was
Right.
like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
She was only doing it for the money. No, she loves the fans, so it's like, I don't know.
But you guys are good fun. Yeah, good fun. I'm filming.
So, I mean, we already talked about this a little bit. Like, any like experiences at cons you've.
Oh yeah, I kind of cheated with that one.
Yeah. I remember December Steel City was I first unveiled my Sabine costume, and like most people did not know who I was at that point because Rebels had been out for maybe a couple of months, but the people who did know were very excited. Like there was like this, I don't know, I talked about this last episode, but there was a lot of like it was all like either really little kid or like someone in their 20s, and there was no no in between.
Oh, man.
Yeah, with me it was way different because Star Wars Rebels hasn't even came out yet, and we had our costumes, and it was kind of weird, and no one knew who we were at all.
I remember that. That was at WonderCon, right? That was the first time you wore it. I think so because the Star Wars Twitter account had retweeted you guys, and I'm like, who is this awesome family? And that's how I got to know you guys.
Oh man.
I think another favorite experience of mine actually happened at Star Wars Celebration. So that was actually Anaheim. That was actually my first Star Wars Celebration because I couldn't afford to go to the other to the other ones like in
Feel you,
Germany
girl.
or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that was my first one, and I had gotten to know Amy Radcliffe, who's a big fan herself, and she came up with this brilliant idea to do Ahsoka Tano Lives Day. So she recruited me for help, and I totally like gave it my all and helped out wherever I could, and. On that day, it was a Friday. I think it was like at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and you see this like crowd of Ahsoka fans, either wearing Ahsoka shirts or wearing actual costumes, and then Dave Filoni and Ashley Eckstein pop out of nowhere. You're like, whoa, this is just like 10 times more awesome.
Yeah, my family went. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And that's where I met you.
Yeah, that's right. In person, finally. I was just like, yay, this is our family. And so yeah, and then we were standing all in one big group to take a photo, and instead of saying 1, 2, 3 cheese, they were saying 1, 2, 3 Ahsoka lives. So we were shouting that, and then at one point I could hear Dave Filoni going pressure because there's a lot of pressure for him, Ahsoka state now.
I think my favorite moment of Celebration.
There's water.
That's me. Sorry, washing my hands.
Cleanliness is next to godliness.
Exactly.
At Celebration, I had 2 moments. One, I know some of you know Aaron Victor, from Twitter. I had never met her. We met on the way to the Rebels premiere or the Rebels panel. And I had met Dave Filoni for the first time the night before, and I was like, "What's gonna happen to Captain Rex?" And he was like, really quietly, like, "You gotta go to the panel tomorrow." Okay, whatever. So I get into the panel, and I remember at the trailer, like, I was fine. I had never seen Rebels before. I was catching up while I was at Celebration, trying to watch episode after episode, and then, like, I still get goosebumps when Ahsoka says, "I haven't felt this since the Clone Wars," and then he says, "My name's Captain Rex." We're like, what? Me and Aaron lost it. I told my family I haven't cried that hard since my wedding. we were hot messes. We had mascara running down our faces. And I was like, you could have sworn that something amazing just happened, and we're just sitting here that they brought back a cartoon character.
I know. I totally had that happen. I was right there with this
I'm so glad. Like, this is why it's fun to be a fangirl and connect with people. She's like, I just did what to do. I just proclaimed to seize up. Everyone's like, yeah.
That was another awesome moment. Yeah, definitely.
I was there, and I could hear Joan.
That was great. And my friend actually caught a picture of me with like my mouth open. This was like, that's not a great picture of me. But I'm so glad you caught it anyway.
Yep, there's a picture of me and Aaron just crying. And like, this is not flowery at all. We're going to scare the heck out of it. Get it to StarWars.com. Tell them how much we love Rex.
Oh, man.
I remember I went to, I don't remember what con it was, but I was walking around, and then I saw like a little girl, and she was Hera, and it was so cute, and she like had the head tails and everything except for the paint, because you can't put paint on kids like that. And we took a picture together because I was in my Sabine, and it was just so cute. She was so
Aww.
tiny and cute.
And you just want to scoop them up and hug them, but you don't want to scare them off.
Yes.
You're like,
I actually did that. We had like a Halloween hallways kind of
Yeah.
thing. It was like a trick-or-treating in our hallways of our school, and there was a kid in a Kylo Ren costume, and we were only supposed to give 1 piece of candy each, and I gave him a handful and hugged him, and he's just like, "Get off of me, please!"
Yeah, we got a guy in our Garrison, his daughter, who is knee-high to a grasshopper. She has a bouche, everyone pronounces it differently, and every time I just want to squeal so hard, because she's just so cute. I'm like, she probably is freaked out by us. There's this girl just crying, standing over top of her, just wants to hug her. She's amazing.
I think, though, like, one of my favorite experiences at cons was I actually met Daniel Logan and at one con, and I was in my Sabine, and I guess he thought I was a custom Mando or something, but I was talking to him, and then a little girl in one of, like, the cloth, like, Halloween Sabine costumes comes up, and I get a picture with her, and it was really cute, and then he's like, "You're a character?" and we're just like, yeah, he had never heard of Rebels before. Like, and we're telling him about it, and he's like, and then he's just like, "I prefer Clone Wars."
Of course you would.
I want to fault him for that, but you can't, 'cause at least he's trying. Trying to keep up. I have way too many fun experiences at cons, especially with Daniel Logan. He chased me through the halls of one convention with one of those Beats pill things, blaring "Let It Go," because he found out how much I hate that song. So I was chasing the halls to go with that. Blaring Disney music.
Daniel Logan, we were talking to him for a while actually when we met him, and my dad said something about we were from Lancaster, and his immediate reaction was, "Lancaster? I love Amish Mafia!"
Adorable. Yeah. I'm just reminiscing about all the con experiences. So I'm just silent for a moment, just, thinking back to the glory days. Dragon Con, me and my friend who also does a Phase 2 Captain Rex, we debuted our old man Rexes.
Oh, nice.
We had the bald caps and the beards, and I wore my armor, she wore hers, and we just went around and yeah, it was a hot mess. Like, our beards were falling off by half the night, but we would go around to the men dressed up as women, and we'd go hit on them because we thought it was funny. "Hey, doll, how you doing? All my friends are dead." Not the most G-rated adventure, but it was a lot of fun.
We were just got back from Rhode Island Comic-Con yesterday. There was a ton of Star Wars actors there, like old ones, like you never see anymore, really.
John Morton was up there, wasn't he?
I'm not sure. I mean, we met Jim Cummings, and he was amazing. He just started randomly talking to us in his voices. And we're like geeking out in the middle of the con, laughing like little girls because Jim Cummings is talking in 20 different voices. Garrick Hagen, I don't know how he pronounces it. I think he was Biggs.
Oh, okay.
I always mix Biggs and Wedge up. My husband bought the doll of him, and he starts playing with it. And in the middle of the con, as loud as he can say, is, "Garrick is playing with himself!" Luckily, he had a good sense of humor and was cracking up about it.
That's awesome.
I love the actors and the voice actors who embrace this.
Yeah.
That they know that this means so much to us, and they just go right along with our crazy.
Yeah. Tim Rose, who was the voice of Akbar, was hysterical. He had a little sign to do with fans saying it's a trap. It was just a little thought bubble.
It's brilliant. Oh, man.
I love going to cons and as Sabine sometimes, and I play laser tag in her costume.
Nice.
And that's always fun to do.
I think it was technically at a con, but it was at the hotel, and there was, I'm upstairs because it was over a weekend, so I was doing my math homework, and my dad is down, and he walks down, and he sees Ray Park sitting in the bar, so he goes over to Ray Park, texts me, "Zoe, come down, bring your math homework," and so I come down with my math homework, and I have math homework signed by Ray Park. He signed my algebra, and because my algebra teacher was a huge Star Wars fan last year when that happened, And so we like he laminated when I turned that in, he like laminated it and gave it back. He's like, I know you want to keep this.
That's amazing.
Right? You can tell your dad I'm not happy for him not texting me at that time.
That's something you'll cherish forever. Like, here's my algebra. I got a B+ on it, but Ray Park signed it.
I actually got 100 on it. So.
That's awesome.
That's what Sith Lords will do for your education.
So for those of us who troop, which I think is all of us except for Jonah,
when are we going to get you in armor?
I really want
katana.
So does anybody have any experiences trooping, like not just at cons, like?
I got plenty.
You mean the millions of events we do outside of cons?
Yeah. I don't know. I dance a lot.
Yes, you do.
Much to the chagrin of my Darth Vader, but because we've started a little routine between me and my R2 unit, or Jason's R2 unit, who's really mine. We dance to the Cantina band, usually to get kids involved when they're a little apprehensive about approaching us, because we are big, scary plastic people. So everything lightens the mood when R2 starts wiggling. Get the kids in it. A lot of fun.
I've trooped with you twice, and you've danced a lot.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't like sitting idle for very long, especially when in armor. I feel like I'm in plastic for so little time that I want to make the most of it, because wearing Rex is like a second skin to me. I've gotten so comfortable wearing it, so I always want to play. Just a giant action figure. I want to have fun.
Kind of what happened for me, but it was at Star Wars Reads Day. We went to this library and they had a R2 unit, and I guess the guy who made it put music into him, and so he's spinning around and like music is playing, and so my mom just started dancing with him. It was really funny, and my dad got it on video.
I think I saw that on Instagram.
We have a couple Vaders that have put in different sound bites on their buttons, like their buttons are actually pushable because kids are constantly coming up and trying to push them.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
One guy has everything. You push it, everything is awesome starts playing.
Let it go.
Yeah, let it go was another one.
Let it go is another one.
You want
there's a toilet flushing.
Yeah.
Actually, that one time he hit it, and then a little kid was like, "Mommy, he went to the bathroom in his armor."
Terrible and fantastic at the same time. Oh, that's brilliant. Ooh, I need to get some of those. Some of just like Rex noises, so I can put them in my bucket.
Rex noises?
Yeah, you know. Because I do a very terrible New Zealand accent. So I think if I just have little buttons to push. Not a toilet flushing.
I think, like, in Sabine now, I'm always kind of almost a diplomat, because there's always the kids, like, afraid of all the people, and then I take my helmet off, and I'm just like, I'm not scary, and they're not really that scary either, trust me.
Yeah. Yeah, you did that at the school troop, too. There are little kids who come up, like, go, get them! Not, Clayton's workers.
I know it's kind of a bad idea, but when I go to cons and I take pictures with kids, I go and I give, like for pictures, I go and give them my guns so they could do a little pose. But I don't know if I'm supposed to do that anymore.
I know they've gotten a little stricter with, like, you can't point the guns at kids. I get that you're not supposed to shoot them at, like, the parents taking the pictures and things like that. But there's nothing that helps a child connect to you more than handing over a resin weapon and be like, hey, you know how to shoot the house, don't you?
Mine are wooden, but I do that too a lot. And then like sometimes if there's 2 kids, I'll like, since Sabina's are blue and yellow, I'll be like, which one has blue in their clothes and which one has yellow? It needs to match.
You got sorted out by color. Yeah, but it's a benefit of having dual wielding pistols. If there's more than one kid, you'd be like, y'all can fight over this.
I always feel kind of awkward if I give both pistols because I'm just like, do I just stand here? What do I do?
What do I do with my hand? Do I put them by my face?
Strike a peace sign.
Yeah, you can get away with that. Out of all of us can just be adorable.
The kids are holding.
Kawaii.
I'm totally kawaii.
I love that.
Bearded Wolf is gonna come after me. Sorry, brother. I'm totally not kawaii. What is it?
Kawaii.
Yeah, you guys have the kawaii unit or something, right?
Oh,
Lizzy?
Yeah.
There are people, and I met them at that celebration, and they just kept peace signing and yelling that. I'm like, I want to be a cool kid too, but I don't know what it is. So if there's any pictures of me doing this, it's all false. I apologize.
Yeah.
Jess, do you have any stories? I feel like you troop with Bobby, so you have to have something.
We've had a fun time, and you're a kid.
Right?
Well,
He's always picking up kids all the time.
Me
They love
too.
it. They love it. But I always feel like I'm going to end up coming home with one someday. You're just going to be in my backseat like, hi! We were at the Zoo Boo last month. And all the kids are running around in their little costumes, and they look at us and like, oh, whoa, I'm going to go that way. But this little adorable girl was dressed up as Solly from Monsters, Inc. She just sees me, comes right over, grabs my hand, and just starts walking off. And I'm like, okay, where's this going? Mom's yelling. She goes, she wants to take you home, but bring her back.
I love that. Kids just, I love the ones that come up and just hug you.
Yeah.
And, like, I have this one troop. I was standing next to my friend Eric, and I just feel this hand go underneath my diaper and just grab my butt. And I look at him, and I'm ready to smack one upside the head. And he's like, no, there's a tiny child. And the child just came up and hugged me. And if you've ever been in armor, you have a level where you can't see. What's there. So it's just like, don't hit him. Don't hit him with your elbows. It hurts, but I'm uncomfortable physically.
With my Jessie that I'm waiting to get approved right now, I got a temp approval and I wore it one day to a library event, and there's these 2 little boys in the front row, and I hear, oh my gosh, it's Captain Rex, and the other kid like smacks him in the chest and goes, no, you idiot, it's Jessie.
Isn't that the best when one kid knows who you are? You're like,
so go up and hug
we're
him.
hanging out all day.
Right?
What Emily said about like the hugs, like one time I had a little girl and she hugged me like around the knees, but I didn't see her. I was talking to the Ezra there, and I panic and bend my knee and I hit her in the face and like I felt so bad. I'm like, I'm sorry.
You shouldn't be laughing at them.
That happened to a Bausch at an event. She didn't see a kid because of her helmet, and her fists have those spikes, and she accidentally hit a kid with the back of her hand because she didn't see her.
And you feel so bad, but there's nothing you can do.
Exactly. I'm like, oh my god.
Sneak up on you, and you're like, well.
It's like anything below the nose, no, sorry.
Exactly.
We had a Boba at a library event. Didn't see the kid. I'm watching the kid. I'm like, this is gonna end badly. As I go to grab her, he turns and cracks her right in the face with his blaster.
Oh,
and it wasn't like a light one. This sucker was you could do some damage.
And there's that split second or so before the kid's trying to react like, did that person just hit me with a gun? Like, yes, I did just hit, and then the tears happen, and then that's sad. But I love the moms who come up and they just hand you an infant.
Yeah.
I understand that I cannot hug myself right now. I cannot complete the circle with my hands, and you put this precious little, like, moldable potato in my hands. And you expect to take it while it's, like, slinking out. That's happened one too many times.
I've never been handed a child, and that's probably for the best. That wouldn't, like...
That's true.
It's so fun, though.
I've seen, like, Vaders get handed, like, a small infant, and I'm just waiting for something to happen. Like,
we should poll the Garrisons and see how many people have dropped babies in armor.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Hopefully that'll be 0.
Don't tell Lucasfilm. Wasn't on the show notes at all. Dropping babies.
I was going to say something, but I forgot.
Being in an elevator in costume, it's kind of awkward, especially when you're like all the other people are not, and they're just like staring at you. It's kind of weird and creepy.
No, that's when you start having fun. You're like, hey, how's the weather?
Hey, man.
How you doing?
Why I gathered you here today.
I think I was actually at like the Hershey Symphony like a few years ago. I was still a Jawa then, but there was some photographer for the news like paper, and he was supposed to be following around Mike Bryant, or Boba Fett, and that was like who he was supposed to be, but he got distracted by me and my sister, and so he just wound up following us around, and he actually got a picture of us in like the theater seats, and he won an award for that picture. So I mean.
That's awesome.
You're famous.
Yay.
Did he send you gumballs or something as congratulations?
No, we just got an email with a link to the article and the picture.
Just gumballs.
My mom, she always wants to, whenever she sees like a little girl or a little boy like dress up and then they want a picture with her, she just wants to take them home. And my dad just looks at her like shaking his head saying, no more. No more.
No more.
No more.
No more.
I
That could
always,
get a soundbite we put on our armor.
whenever I see a little girl, like a little boy or a little girl, but especially a little girl in like a shirt or a costume, like I just make a beeline.
Yeah.
Like, immediately. Then, actually, one of my favorite experiences trooping was it was at a Rebels premiere a couple weeks before like it aired, and we went there. We were, unfortunately Sabine wasn't done, but we went, and then as we're like packing the car up, we're talking to people as we're leaving, we see R2 just driving up the parking lot. We just look at it for a second, then look back, and we're like, wait a second, R2 was literally driving up the parking lot. We're just like, oh, okay, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. It's really weird what you become used to. Like, oh, okay, so there's just like 5 stormtroopers hanging out over in that hallway. That's cool.
'Cause I took my friend to a troop once, because it was like an unofficial troop, and so she tagged along, and she's just like, and we were all like changing stuff, and she's like, wait, everybody changes in the same room? I'm like, yeah. Like, she's like, but like, there are boys and girls. Like, don't look.
Yeah, that's one of the things I learned early on is you wear the undersuit underneath all your clothes, get to the changing room, so all you have to do is take off your street clothes and then put your armor on. You don't have to like find a changing room, you don't have to find a bathroom or anything, you don't have to have Darth Vader hold his cloak up to you. I'm done. Use Vader as a changing room before.
I think one of the things I learned trooping is when I first started, I was looking at all these stormtroopers and I was like, who's who? Like, how can you tell who's who? And now I've been here like a year and I'm like, oh, well, that's so-and-so and that's so-and-so and that's that guy over there. And they're like, well,
My
how
dad
can you
has-
tell?
Yeah.
You can just, you learn, like, you learn
Exactly.
because everybody's helmet is always almost a little different, or the chest plate's a little different, and voices are very important, too.
It's
And
even
how
the
they
way they hold
Carry
themselves.
Yeah.
And how they walk.
You
Yeah.
you just learn.
finally understand what parents with like quintuplets. I understand how they feel. Like, how can you tell them apart? Like, these are my white trooper babies. Triplets, one of them by name.
Yeah, we would go to like a con and we would like go to the dressing room and we'll get suited up and I just like a stormtrooper comes and they're like, "Hey, Lizzy, how are you?" I'm like, I'm good. I don't know who you are. Who are you? Who's under the mask?"
It took me a very long time to learn, just because actually, like, I didn't really talk to anybody at troops. Like, I was completely silent. I go in the Jawa costume, I do whatever, and then I get out of the costume and I sit there and while my dad talks to everybody. But now I'm like actually learning names and who people are, so I can like start to identify people sometimes. But sometimes if there are two stormtroopers, I'm just like, you're somebody and you're somebody.
We just had 3 of them approved, and they all looked the same, and they all made their TK at the same time. And so we go to these troops, and you're like, you're that. Nope, you're the other one. Shoot. Made that mistake a few times.
Have you, troops, Rex, or whoever, whoever has a helmet, you walking around and you see this kid and you're having fun with them, and you take your helmet off and you see that kid later. You're like, hey, I'm being creepy now.
Yes! We were just talking about this. It's like post-troop.
Ghost
I don't know, identity
wave.
Yeah, you run up to a child and you're like, hey! You're like, I'm an adult, and I'm yelling at a child, and they probably think that they need to call the police.
You see, when I was we had a troop at a mall one time when I was like Jawa, and I was like 7 or 8, and I was like, I got out, but I was like still in Jawa mode, and I run up to a kid, I'm like, ha, and just, like start making random sounds at them, and the mom's like, oh, is this one of your friends from school? And the kid's just like, no, I don't know her.
Danger. Yeah. I'm glad we're not the only ones that have it.
Me and my mom, we both do Sabine, and we both do Hera. Well, I don't do Hera anymore, but when we did Sabine, sometimes her friends would look at me and they're like, "Okay, are you Liz or are you Lizzy?" I can't tell. And I would take off the helmet. I'm like, it's a me, Lizzy.
It's a me.
So, does anybody want to talk about anything else, or?
I love Captain Rex.
Because the people in my Garrison fell sick of it. Like, yeah, okay, that's great. You love Captain Rex. Great for you. Like, no, you don't understand. I love every clone. Anything with the T visor and a frown is
Yes.
okay in my book.
I can never find any like Captain Rex stuff, especially not anymore. Like, cause
It's all in my house.
Because it used to be like it was all like in the really little boys section. I couldn't fit in any of it, and now it just doesn't exist anymore. It's very sad.
Yeah, it is sad.
I just remember watching when the animated Clone Wars movie came out to precede the show, and right at the beginning where Arsing takes down the battalion and Rex is there and he's lying on the ground and you're thinking he's gonna die, and I'm like bawling in the theater. I'm like, no, not already.
Oh gosh, during the whole like Lost episode. The Lost episode. That and during the Darkness on Umbara, when Clone Wars really started getting dark, like I would just run from one room to another, like run from the TV into my husband's computer room, just like run right back to the TV. And I hadn't watched the Lost episodes for a while because I wasn't emotionally prepared for it. For a cartoon show that's meant for children. I'm better now though.
I'm not.
Yeah, there was an episode in those lost episodes where oh shoot, I forget what happens, but there's Darth Sidious looking over his little bowl of water or whatever it was, and and then Anakin and the Rex and the rest of the unit come in, and they try to ambush him, and he unleashes the lightning on all of them. And then one of the first things I noticed is that Rex is part of that the attack. I'm like, no, Rex. They're looking for some twitching movement. It's like, is he still alive? It wasn't until we find out it was some sort of a vision or whatever it was. So I'm like,
okay,
up with
he's okay, right? He's cool. He's cool. All right.
I don't know what it is. They wrote those clones so well. Because watching the Clone Wars, watching the episode where 99 dies, I cried for 3 days.
Yeah.
3 days. I was in tears. Or you watch, these senators die, or dying in the show. You're like, whatever.
Well, right? Yeah, but they take one of our clones off, and there's an uproar in the fan community.
Well, I wasn't really able to watch all of it when it was releasing. So then, as soon as it came on Netflix, that's all I did for 3 weeks, just over the summer, and that was all I did. And so I just kept watching it over and over again because I had nothing to do because it was the summer, and and I was just emotion after emotion. Someone dies in one episode, I'm like, all right, maybe the next episode will be happy, but no, Filoni's mean.
Exactly. Yeah.
Chloe.
And I think that was the greatest moment of the Rebels preview, is just hearing the clone voices again.
Yes.
I didn't realize how much I had missed this.
I don't know about you, my heart stopped with the Traitor episode with Cutler Crane, where Rex got sniped and fell.
Yes.
Oh.
I remember
it happened, man.
I accidentally missed that episode, and I'm going back looking for screen caps of Rex when I was working on the armor, and I see this screen cap of him shirtless. I was like, when did this happen?
Why am I so
I'm asking for a friend.
I remember that. Oh
I'm
God.
really sorry, but I think my favorite clone is Gregor.
I love
sorry. I'm sorry, Jonah.
The old man Gregor?
No, it's okay.
Or Rebel Commando Gregor? Which version of Gregor are we talking about?
Yeah, which version? Rebels Gregor or Clone Wars Gregor?
Yeah.
Both.
Both?
I like them
That's
both.
cool.
Yeah.
Accept him for all of his flaws. That's cool.
Echo was my favorite, just because all I remember, especially in the I forget what it was called, but when they were training with Echo and Fives and Heavy and stuff, and they called him Echo because he repeated all of the instructions, and I was just like, that's me at school.
I love how they gave them all
I also like
personalities.
Fives and
Oh,
good.
I wasn't attached to Fives until you had the ARC Trooper and Rex back and forth, that banter. It's like, well, you've proven yourself, sir. You can come hang out with the cool kids.
Waxer and Boyle, those are two more.
Yes.
Oh,
I love Waxer
God.
and Boyle.
My heart.
All those old gentas talking about clone troopers. Right? For our grandkids. Oh.
People are going to watch this. Why are these girls attracted to animated clones? What is wrong with them?
Listen, it's either that or you with Aladdin or that guy from Frozen or whatever. No.
Yeah.
Give me a clone trooper. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember experiencing that once. What is it about Rex that you love? I'm like, man, I can
Just
spend.
look at him.
I could write a whole essay about.
Let me tell you a story. At Celebration, I don't know if you guys know him. He's a Kiwi, so he's from New Zealand, but he does Captain Rex. And then when he troops, he bleaches his hair. Phil, oh my gosh, I wasn't prepared for this. He took off his helmet and he sounds like Rex, and I melted into a pile of little ABS plastic. I was like, this isn't right?
Yes, I took a picture with him. Actually, I was like,
Right, yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this is the real deal right here.
Right,
Can I touch your face? But yeah, I took a picture with him. Not like that in my mind. I was like, can I touch your face?
Right. You don't want security called on you, so you just do it internally. And, oh my gosh, if you watch the Bad Batch preview from Celebration, that panel, and
Yes.
we crashed the panel. So I'm the Rex up there with Filoni and Phil. So I was so excited because that T-shirt that we did for the detachment, it was my design. So I got to hand Filoni my shirt, and then Phil takes off his helmet, and Dave's reaction was perfect. It's like, whoa, you're a little surprised inside. It's like, girl, you don't know the half of it.
That's awesome.
My parents did an event at a orphanage, and so one of their friends went, and he was Rex, but he was Rex from Rebels, so he had the beard and everything, and he had the armor, and and she took pictures, and it was really cool.
I think at Steel City Con in August, I saw like it was this guy, he was bald and he had like a big fluffy white beard, and I think it was Ryan Murelli walked up to him like, you do a Rex costume. He showed him pictures and the guy's like, okay.
Zoe, it was Gina and it was the Platzer's friend. They're trying to talk him into doing that.
Really?
Yes, I support
Do
that.
it.
Where do we find a petition? I want an old
He
man
looked
in our
exactly
area.
like him.
Do it.
I'm trying to get my CO to do it because he had the bald head beard. And I was like, if I get phase 2 Rex armor, you're wearing it.
Yo.
Just makes me a happy fangirl, not for kids.
I really want to just wear my Night Sister in front of Dave Filoni one time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I would
Yes.
love to do that.
That is
That's
the
so
best
cool.
feeling. Be like, hey, remember that thing you created?
Yeah.
In that exact creepy voice, please.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't have a restraining order by the end of Celebration. I ran into him like 3 times.
Yeah, when we first met Dave, when I first met Dave, it was like the first time we wore our Rebels clothes, and we were just minding our own business, and I was like talking, and then all of a sudden I hear someone behind me and like grab my shoulder. I was like, who is this? And I turn around and it's Dave. I'm like,
Did you
hi.
ever take in the cowboy hat first? Like, that's how you know him? You recognize him? Like,
Actually, he didn't have his cowboy hat, so I was like, who are?
He was
it's
incognito.
Yeah. When he came to Pittsburgh to do the Rebels premiere, because this is his hometown.
yeah.
And he starts walking up, and I'm standing there, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, he looks familiar. And I'm staring at him, and I'm like, he has a Star Wars shirt on. And then he pulls out the cowboy hat. I'm like, there he is!
That's awesome.
Someone needs
so
to make a
awesome.
comic strip of that.
Yeah.
See, I have never met Dave Filoni, but I want to. Like, really.
One
bad.
day.
Yeah.
One day.
He puts up with
Actually,
girls like us
Yes.
yelling and crying at him, and God bless.
I feel like I would yell at him.
You don't need to. Like, you want to have a nice casual conversation, and I'll just come to, I love the Clark Trooper.
No, I mean, like, I'd yell at him, like,
I
you
can't.
killed this person and this person. Like, no, bad.
Just sit down and have a stern talking to.
You killed everybody I love.
You killed my
Okay, at Aaron Scare this last Halloween, we do the Aaron Scare down at the Aaron Space Museum. I was standing there with Captain Rex. I had this little Jedi walk up to me, and he's like, "Can I get a picture?" I was like, "Sure." And he whispers, and no one else can hear him. He's like, "Please don't order 66 me."
Oh.
Like, child, what have you experienced that you would think that?
you see too much.
Exactly. I want to like talk
I
to your
remember-
father.
Yeah. I couldn't even talk while he was there. I was just, you. And my dad was there, like, little social butterfly there. And he was talking on and on and on. It was really funny.
That's cool.
I seriously couldn't speak. I was that amazed.
I didn't think that kind of starstruck thing can happen, and it does.
It does. Because I like to make Tuca dolls, and those are the little dolls that Numa was holding in
I'll
so
talk to you later.
the Ryloth
Yeah.
arc.
I
Yes.
love those. I want one.
I would love a little.
I will put you guys on the list.
Okay.
Go look at mine. Go check mine out because I want to I actually want to see how you make yours comparatively, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, go to my Facebook
What you
page. Just because I just forgot my own Facebook page. Cosmic Critter Creations.
Yeah, she has in the notes, and I was actually browsing through. I was like, this is so cool.
Just shopping through each other's stuff. Yeah, you guys should each make one and see who can do the better
Jonah.
day, guys. And then ship them both to
Yeah,
me.
what's up?
Are you selling them? Because I
I
want
do not sell them. No, I don't sell them. I like to give them away. I like to give them to peoples. But I'll have to make more. Because I just like got to that phase where I was like, oh man, my hands hurt. I don't want to do this anymore. But yeah, I was looking at your stuff and it's just so cool. I was like, oh, I want this. I want that.
I actually made I had a couple Wampa dolls at Steel City Con. And
I
this
have
girl wanted one, so I'm like 3 days. I'm like trying to make these as fast as I can because it takes me several hours. And I'm like, okay, she didn't say
Oh
if she
my gosh,
wanted
they're adorable.
one no arm or one with 2 arms or one with a removable arm. So I'm like, I'm gonna make a removable arm because that's the coolest one.
Oh,
And I make it for her and I give it to her and I'm like, hey, look what it does. And I pulled the arm off and I'm like, this is awesome. And she looks at me and she goes, oh, I just wanted the one arm. I'm like, what?
Oh.
She doesn't deserve it. Take it back.
I wanted to be like, here's your money, give me the doll.
I
Deserve this.
have one of yours with the removable arm, and I'm just like sit there sometimes, just like it comes off.
That's so
The best thing is you hand it to people, you hold the removable arm and hand it to people, and you're like, here, you want to hold my Wampa? And they grab it, and the arm pops off. They're like, oh my god, I'm so sorry!
That's a neat trick right there. That's awesome. So yeah, I like to make the little Tuca dolls, and I made two purple ones, and I gave one to Ashley. And I kindly asked her, "Hey, Ashley, could you give this to Dave Filoni? I'd like for him to have it." And she was so kind enough that she actually took it and she gave it to him. After a point, I was just like, "Oh, I don't know whether she gave it to him or not. Whatever." But she actually did. She gave it to him, and then come Celebration, I make him another one. I make a gray one with a Wolfpack symbol on it, and I'm just like, awesome. I find out that he's doing. I'm like, it's like the third. I think it's like the third day already. I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna see this guy in person. And then I find out that he's going to sign at the Hasbro booth. So I like make my way over, because I know they're gonna cap that line. So my friend, fortunately, saved a spot for me on the line. So I get to the point where I'm actually in front of the table. He's right there. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to say? But it's just like, here's a Tuca doll for me. Oh, he's like, no way, you made it with Wolfpack symbol. I was like, yeah, because I know you like that stuff. But yeah, it was such a good experience. I mean, I wasn't like totally shaking, but internally I was. And it was such a great experience. I thanked him for making Ahsoka and all this stuff, and it was just such a great experience, just giving him that and just saying my thanks. But I wish I could have told him why you killed all those people.
I'll do that for you.
Yes.
When she sits him down for the adult talk. Like, I got a bone to pick with you, sir. You're all... But...
I did meet Ashley Eckstein at last May at the thingy Disney or Star Wars weekends, which they don't have anymore. But I did meet her, and she was probably like the nicest person on earth. And she actually she told me I looked like Sabine before we told her that I had a Sabine costume.
Oh, nice.
And then she was telling me, making sure I got she was telling me about her Sabine, her universe hoodie, and she was like making sure I knew about it, and I got it. I'm like, we already got it, don't worry about it.
We actually named our cats. We have 2 cats, Ahsoka and Barris. And Bobby got to meet Ashley. I didn't get a chance because during Star Wars weekends I had to go get a table reservation. And he's talking to her. He goes, "Oh yeah, we named our cat Ahsoka." And she goes, "Oh really? You should have named her Ahsocat."
You
right?
I have a
These are
friend
okay.
actually.
He's wonderful too.
Oh, that's cool. I have a friend who named his cat Ahsoka Pano. This is a fall.
You can never have too many animal pun names with Star Wars. You can just sit there and it's that reaction that she has. Just...
Yeah, my dog.
Why not?
Yeah, my dog. His name isn't too special. It's Bingo, but I made like a mouse droid-ish toy for him, and so I just like stuffed it and I sewed it together and everything, and then I gave it to him, and the next day it's all like torn up and into little pieces. And we did that again. We bought him an actual thing because it was better made, and it was a Boba Fett. And the next few days, like the top of the head is like ripped open, and all the stuffing.
Too soon.
And all the stuffing is everywhere, and you can't even find the squeaker anymore. It's gone.
Squeeze his tummy.
Yes.
In the middle of the night, you'll hear this one. Thank God, what is?
Yeah. He still has Admiral Akbar and Greedo though. He hasn't gotten rid of that. He loves Admiral Akbar though. It's really cute when he's like ripping him apart.
You need to sit down when she has a talk with Dave Filoni. Y'all can get together about killing everything.
My dogs they're not special names either. They're just Buddy and Freddy. But I mean, if Freddy would tolerate costume, which he does not, but if he would, I would totally dress him up as Yoda because he's a pug, so he's like the wrinkly face and like. I want him to be Yoda, but he doesn't tolerate costumes at all. So.
Yeah, I had that with my bearded dragon. You can't put anything on him. I have all these grandiose ideas, but he won't let me.
We tried to put a Boba Fett costume on my dog, but it did not work at all. And then we tried to put Yoda ears on it. That would
costumes on. I've never met these animals that sit still long.
My Buddy the bulldog, he tolerates costumes. He doesn't like them, but he'll tolerate them for an amount of time. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I don't remember what I made. I also tried to make a Tuca doll. Didn't work out so well. But so I just gave it to my dog, and that didn't work either.
Now it's with the squeaker you
was
can't
everywhere.
find.
I feel like if I got like a Star Wars like toy for my dog, like they'd start ripping it off and be like, "No, bad. I'm keeping this now." Like,
It belongs in a museum. As Indiana Jones.
Yeah, sometimes I'll like pick up Greedo and I'll pick up Admiral Akbar, and I'm just like, okay, this one has 5 credits on him and this one has 1,000 credits on him. We'll get him. And I like throw him, and he'll get like Greedo, which is only 5 credits. I'm like, no.
You're a terrible bounty
can't.
hunter.
Bingo the bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Just needs a little bit more training, that's all.
Yeah.
I got the little Vader and Stormtrooper mice for my cats. 10 minutes, I can't find them. I don't know where they are.
Yeah.
Are you guys excited about the new TK armor? I'm looking at one now.
I mean, I'll always like the original TK armor better, I think, but I mean, it's not bad.
I actually helped build one, and just by looking at the build, it's very hard, and you're very rigid once you get into it. I hear it's very clone-like, but you definitely need help getting in and out of that sucker.
Yeah, when I get dressed up, I just stand there like Iron Man, and I have to just put the armor on me. I can't do it by myself.
It'd be cool
I did it
to
once
start,
at
like,
Celebration. It was just kind of off kilter when I did it. But,
I got
I think
a lot of the scenes with the new like stormtroopers in the trailers when they're like lined up and there's the big flags, like it reminds me kind of like the Peacekeepers from the Hunger Games movies, like all the white armor lined up and there's those flags and all the people on the stage. This is what it makes me think of for some reason.
What was everyone's feelings about the trailer when they first saw it? Just wondering.
Okay.
Ow.
Well. Yeah, I was at Celebration, and being in a room of 10,000 people and everybody's pretending not to cry. Like, I look over to my buddy, he's like, dude, did you see the color of that TIE fighter? I'm like, yeah, man. Dark. So, it was, I think I had a lot more emotion from seeing a trailer than just seeing it on TV or waiting for it to upload and on YouTube and then going through the parking garage trying to get Rex on and hearing people like, oh my gosh, it's already on YouTube.
Like,
visually,
it came out like January last year. So I was in 8th grade and like my algebra teacher, the same algebra teacher that got the Ray Park homework, he was talking about it and I'm just like it was like right before my algebra class started, and I'm like trying, because we're like standing in the front of the room where his desk is, I'm like trying not to start crying like, in front of everybody. It didn't really work.
No. If I watch it with anyone, like we were watching it during the NFL game when they showed the other trailer, I was like, husband, do not look at me during this thing, because I'm not going to be emotionally stable.
When I saw that, and the next day at school, like that's all I was trying, like talking about to anybody. Nobody knew what I was talking about. Nobody knew or cared.
Aww.
I work with women that none of them are younger than 50 years old, and so I come in like a whirling dervish, like, oh my gosh, y'all see the Star Wars? And they all look at me like I have 10 heads. Like, fine, I'm gonna go in my cube and just start muttering Star Wars words like, "One trooper, Captain Phasma."
Actually, speaking of old people, no, my
segue.
No,
when you say old, like how old are we talking about here?
So like 70s, like 80s. Okay. And like, so my grandmother actually yesterday I was at her house and like we were talking and she was like, yeah, I want to go see the new Star Wars. I want to see the Star Wars movie. I'm like, yeah, but you might want to watch the other one first, like, you know. And she was like, wait, there are movies already? And it's like, I guess she thought it was a book. She wasn't very clear, but she thought it was a book or a comic book or something. And then they're just now making it a movie. And
yeah.
So funny.
Because she never really understood why we liked it so much, which I thought that was just the kind of like people dressing up as space armor are weird, like that everybody has. But like, she didn't even know that there were movies. Like she didn't know.
I'm fascinated by that when people say, "Oh, there's a new movie coming out." It's like, how have you escaped it? It's everywhere. It's on Coffee Mate, Coffee Nonsense. It's in Hallmark. It's in Kohl's and J.C. Penney's. It's in places that kids don't go, and like, it's there.
Like we walk into Kohl's. There's a giant Star Wars sign, and like all these like there's Phasma and Kylo and everything, and just lightsabers.
So many lightsabers.
Well, I've only really seen like Obi-Wan, Vader, like the Legacy Saber, and then Luke, like the green one. That's all I've really seen, and it's bothering me.
I'm not allowed to go down the toy aisles without adult supervision.
I say the same thing to my husband.
Like whenever we go to a store, I'm like, so can I go to the toy section? Yes, go. Because I'll just be like, because like we'll be looking for everything else. We're like, can I go look at the Star Wars toys, please? Like...
I finally saw one of those giant stormtroopers, and they talk. And oh my gosh, I hit all the buttons just going that are like.
My favorite
Feel bad for you walking here.
My favorite is the little Finn ones, and he presses it, and he's like, I don't know what to do. Like I Like, I was in the Disney store just pressing that over and over again until you said that. You'd say it, and then just press it over and over again until you got to that one again, and just over and over and over again.
Chen is my spirit animal. I don't know what to do. Oh, man.
And I like all the little Ray costumes, but I'm too big for them.
Oh, the store-bought ones?
Some
Yeah.
my friends, I won't know who.
You are there, okay. I wasn't sure if it was my computer until I saw Zoe's face do the same thing. Good.
Oh no. Oh man, it's 9.
It is
Yeah, I
now.
just realized that I'm an adult.
I need dinner. I need
gotta go
sustenance.
watch football with my father.
So, I mean, looks like Lizzie's out of commission.
Hi, Lizzie.
So I guess
Sorry.
we'll do... Alright.
Oh, there, she's back. Oh no,
Maybe.
she's not.
Goes to Lizzie Pass.
Yeah, well,
So if you do like another roundtable thing, this was a lot of fun.
yeah,
Yeah, this was.
yeah, you guys are all like welcome back at any time. So we definitely have to do another one of these. But all right, so we have to do comic codes now. I forgot about those. So to celebrate our girls roundtable, we're doing the 5 Leia comic books. So Leia number 1 is NTMPEZP 522 and then PQ. That's NTMPEZ P522PQ. And then Leia number 2 is NTMZ A8063BCL. That's NTMZ A8006 3BCL. And then Leia number 3 is FMC 12Y Y6HAB9. So FM C1 2Y Y6 HAB9. That was 3. So Leia number 4 is FM and then CZ TF KD QIQ. So FM CZ TF KD QIQ. Or is that a 1 or an I?
I think it's an I.
It's an I.
Alright.
Yeah, the one at the bottom is
On
the
there
one.
you have T4F. Is it T4F or TF?
T4F. Did I say
Okay.
TF?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
FMCZ T4 FKDQIQ. I'm sorry. And then Leia number 5 is NTM8D1VAMQEA. That's NTM8D1VAQMQEA. Alright. So, thank you everybody. We'll have to do this again, definitely. This was a lot of fun. So, alright, so everyone say goodbye.
Bye.
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 So long. Farewell.
I'll be to say goodbye.
Do we want to watch really quick? Want to watch Zoe make a funny noise?
Do we
Do
wanna,
I?
Do we want to do what?
Putting Zoe on the spot. Damn it, I missed it.
A supernatural fan.
Leave that in the podcast.
I thought you just wanted me to make a noise. I didn't know you were gonna do that.
Oh no. Bye.
Alright, goodbye.
Anybody watch Supernatural?
Yeah, oh, I know of it. I haven't watched it consistently,
It's
but
amazing.
Yes.
The actor who plays Bobby.
Jim
over
Beaver.
there.
Idiot.
Was that Rhode Island? Jim Beaver, right?
Jim Beaver.
Oh.
But he
I
was at
saw your
Comic-Con over the weekend.
pictures.
Yeah, and he was such a nice guy. I loved his T-shirt. But he was doing free photos with cell phones. So I'm like, oh well, I feel bad, just walking up, getting a free photo and walking off, because like 3 or 4 people in front of me did that. So I went up and I'm like, Bobby, what photo do you like? And he picks out one with his character and Dean and Sam. And there's another one I liked more, and it was just him pointing a gun. But I'm like, can you make it out to Zoe? And so Bobby takes a picture and texts it to Zoe, and I get a message from her dad saying, Zoe is jumping up and down, making noises I have not heard before. So we broke
the noise of a fangirl.
Okay. So this is Star Wars Geek Girl. Thank you for listening and goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Wait, are we
Bye.
actually leaving?
Okay.
Star Wars Geek Girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.